Alright, our next installment of accidental ASMR is going to be a convex mirror. Now, first thing we do is draw it, and we draw our baseline. Alright, there it is. Now, next thing we're going to do is we need to draw where the focal point is. Now, with a convex mirror, the focal point is in the virtual world. It's over here on the right hand side as we draw it of the mirror. Now we're going to draw our object over here on the left, otherwise the mirror wouldn't work. Now we begin our line drawing. The first line is going to be parallel to the baseline, as always. Now, it's kind of a poor line, but you'll have to forgive me. Now we reflect it away from the focal point, so 1 and R1. Now the second thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a line towards the focal point. Now this particular one will not reach the focal point, so we stop at the mirror. And it reflects parallel to the baseline. Alright, now forgive the various times that it's shaky and when the video gets a little bit out of focus. My phone camera isn't that great. So anyway, these two lines we'll label 2 and R2. Now, R1 and R2 do not meet in the real world. So what we have to do is we have to move them into the virtual world. So we line it up. We draw them back. There's R1 and there's R2 drawn back. And where those two lines meet, that is our image. You can see that that is the top of the image and that it is a little tiny upright image. Now, let's move on to the mathematics portion of this particular problem. P, let's go ahead and call P, for the sake of calculation, let's just call it 10 centimeters, okay? Now for Q, we don't know it. And then finally for F, we'll say it's pretty close to the same distance as P, so we can call it, I mean it's a little less, but now let's, for the sake of calculation, call it 10. Now because it is a convex mirror, the focal point will be negative. Okay, remember that, negative for convex mirrors. It's a virtual focal point. Now we plug our numbers into our main equation. 1 over P plus 1 over Q equals 1 over F. Our P is 10, we plug that in, and our F is negative 10, and we plug that in. We're looking for Q. So we subtract off a tenth from both sides, and you will see that we have 1 over Q equals negative a tenth minus a tenth. Hopefully it doesn't take you too awful long to figure out what negative a tenth minus a tenth is. It's negative 2 tenths. Another way of writing that, of course, is negative 1/5. Now the last step we do to find Q is we have to do the reciprocal. So negative 1/5 right there, we flip it over, negative 1/5. And we find that Q is equal to negative 5. Now we look up at the drawing here in a moment, we'll see that that's a little bit off, but once again our drawings aren't perfect. Now next, we move over to our magnification. Magnification equals negative Q over P. Once again, forgive the blurriness. Now, in this particular case, Q is a negative number. So, we write in our numbers. Negative 5 over P, which is 10. In this particular case, there it is. So, the negative and the negative cancel to make it 5 over 10, which I hope you can see is 1/2. And you can see that it's a positive number. Good job, lead. It's a positive number. So, if M is positive, remember that it is a virtual image and that it is upright. If we look to our drawing, we see that this is indeed the case. It is a virtual image because it's on the right hand side of the mirror on the virtual world. There it is. Okay, bye.